Time, classique rock radio, pousse le volume à 11.
Et ben voilà, donc ce soir on va recevoir un bassiste qui a une longue carrière, Francesco Bucci, qui est le bassiste du groupe ScreamMachine. Alors vous allez voir, c'est un groupe qui fait dans le heavy metal traditionnel. Comme c'est la journée du heavy metal, on va en profiter. En tout cas, on va tout de suite demander à Francesco si tout va bien et quels sont les retours qu'il a à travers ce ScreamMachine qui est le premier album. So Francesco, first of all, thank you to accepting my invitation. It's a great pleasure to speak with you. First of all, ScreamMachine is coming now since 1 month. I see a lot of beautiful and a lot of different good review from this first release. First of all, are you very happy with this review? And can you tell me what is the story behind ScreamMachine?
Oh, of course, Ben. So first of all, thanks you, Olivier, for having ScreamMachine here. We are a debut band, so for us it's very important to have people who take care about us and to have, a program like you that give space also to band not so famous and not only to the big names,
For sure.
so yes, to be honest, I'm very surprised about the very positive and strong reaction, and I'm surprised not because I think that our music is bad, but because I think that our music, it's not so cool. I mean, it's as you said, it's traditional heavy metal. So it's something that maybe right now has not so much space in the music business. But I was wrong, because there was a lot of people just waiting to hear once again, that good old heavy metal song. So I'm really impressed by the reaction that we are having.
Et ben voilà, comme le dit Francesco, comme vous l'avez entendu, alors c'est un début, c'est un premier album de heavy metal, du pur heavy metal. Ça fait du bien dans les esgourdes, vous allez voir, on écoutera d'autres titres tout à l'heure. Mais en tout cas, comme il le dit, il a été très surpris par les premières reviews parce que c'est, en fait, il se disait, on laisse pas beaucoup de place, au heavy metal traditionnel. Et en fait, il y a eu beaucoup de bonnes critiques. Et puis, comme il le dit, il nous remercie aussi de nous laisser parler de la musique de ScreamMachine dans la strike sur Vinylestimes, parce que effectivement, il n'y a pas que les gros, il y a aussi les débutants, mais en fait, ils sont pas réellement des débutants. On va en parler avec Francesco. Francesco, this first release for ScreamMachine is coming on the 9th of April through Frontiers Records. It's a little bit strange to release this first record with Frontiers, because Frontiers is more like classic rock or hard rock. But sometimes we have some beautiful heavy metal bands with coming from Frontiers. Why the band have this deal with Frontiers? Are you totally happy with this deal and with the with these works of Frontiers regarding the band with coming on heavy metal?
I think we are very lucky, because I consider Frontiers as one of the most important and most good label on the market right now. I know that a lot of people, they've got the best of the melodic rock and so adult-oriented rock. So I know that many people tend to think that Frontiers just has that kind of band in that rooster, but this is not true, because in the last years Frontiers made a lot of his rooster became large. So for example, they had Primal Fear.
Yep.
And they have Rising Steel.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
We are not the first of course. So we are not the first heavy metal band in that style that they have, and I'm so happy that they are also growing outside their their melodic rock scenario where they are kings. I'm totally satisfied, because they really are. They are an Italian label, and in my career, I would say, I worked with the label from Germany, from Austria. It's very important for me to have this, very clear relationship with a label from Italy, and they are really doing a great promotion for us. They are giving everything for ScreamMachine. So yeah, I'm so happy.
Voilà, comme le dit Francesco, c'est toujours étonnant d'avoir des groupes de heavy metal sur Frontiers, mais ils ont ouvert le catalogue, Frontiers, vous le savez. L'année dernière, on avait eu Rising Steel en interview. On a bien sûr Primal Fear qu'on a eu aussi en interview. Je vous foncez écouter les podcasts si vous les avez pas écoutés. Mais en tout cas, oui, il est très content, Francesco, du travail fait par Frontiers. Et puis, comme il le disait, puisqu'on va parler un petit peu de ses groupes passés, notamment Stormlord, il a travaillé avec beaucoup d'Allemands, avec beaucoup d'autres labels étrangers, mais il voulait à tout prix travailler dans une bonne relation avec un label italien, et c'est pour le coup Frontiers, et il a tout ce qu'il veut avec Frontiers, donc il est complètement heureux. Francesco, we speak
Yep.
a few seconds about Rising Steel with a band coming from France. And as
Yeah,
you
no,
know,
very
this
well.
is the first band we signed with Frontiers, and this is a band with playing heavy metal. That's a long
Yep.
story, heavy metal, in fact. Huh?
So you want to know what I think about Rising Steel?
Yes.
I love them.
Do you
I
listen
love
to
them,
this?
and yeah, I was. I know that this is their second album. I think the album they released
Yep.
with Frontiers, and of course I heard it, and I was very focused on them because we already had signed with Frontiers when the Rising Steel album was released. So I was very interested in following how much the people would accept Rising Steel, because in a certain way, I mean, they play the same game of Screamachine, even if they maybe sound much more like Sanctuary or a bit like Nevermore, I would say, the most classic metal Nevermore, so not the most modern one. Yes, I really love them. I think they are great. I've seen their video, I heard their album. They are great musicians and the songs are just great.
Et ben voilà, Francesco, comme il le dit, il a suivi un petit peu Rising Steel, hein, il est bien au courant que c'était le deuxième album et c'était le premier chez Frontiers. Et puis Emmanuelson, s'il nous écoute, il sera super content parce que pour le coup, il a suivi comment ça s'était passé pour Rising Steel, le retour, ce qu'il y avait autour du groupe pour voir comment ScreamMachine allait s'inscrire là-dedans. Et il est très content. Et puis comme tout le monde, on attend le prochain album aussi de Rising Steel. Voilà, c'était un petit clin d'œil. Francesco, you start a long time ago when you play with Stormlord, because
Yep.
you are one of the original member of Stormlord. You came
Well,
now
not really original member, but I mean, I'm in Stormlord in 1998, so
Yeah.
I'm there since the first album.
Yeah, so it's a long time.
Yep, long time.
So you decided now to create this ScreamMachine. Why we decided to change some approach? Because Stormlord is more an extreme epic metal, and now
Yes.
with ScreamMachine we play some traditional heavy metal. It is very important for you to have a new project to play heavy metal, or it's like another band with a lot of friends we put together and we find the sound of ScreamMachine.
It's très important for me to play heavy metal. Okay, I'll tell you. I'll try to make a long story short. Yes, I've been playing with Stormlord since 1998, and I've dedicated most of my creative energy to Stormlord, and I'm so happy of all the things I've done with Stormlord. But at a certain point, it was 2017, I was just thinking that apart from the extreme metal scene, I never had a project that make me keep in touch with my roots. Because, of course, when I was a teenager, I was dragged into metal by, Saxon, Iron Maiden, Kill 'Em All from Metallica, Accept, Savatage. So, and this kind of style, this kind of metal, always remained deep in my heart. So I really was eager to make a project like that. And ScreamMachine, so it's my idea. And I found the musician after, because I started to make, some phone call to the musician that I knew since so many years spent here in the Italian scene. And I was very lucky, because I had this magnificent lineup, because we have people from Caledon, which is another important power metal band from Italy. We have people from Lunar Sea or Lance of Terror, which are extreme metal bands. But anyway, ScreamMachine, it's just a work of passion. It was just my urge to play heavy metal music, because it's what I used to like when I was a teenager and what I still like now.
Voilà, comme alors l'idée effectivement, donc Francesco il est à l'origine depuis très longtemps de Stormlord, et puis comme il le dit, hein, il avait envie de revenir à ses racines, à ce côté roots, comme il a dit, c'est très important, very important. Donc il a créé autour il a eu l'idée de dire on va revenir à un heavy metal classique, parce qu'il écoutait beaucoup de choses, il l'a dit, hein, Saxon, Savatage, le Metallica du début, et plein d'autres qui lui ont amené l'envie de jouer ce métal, et il s'est dit moi j'aimerais bien faire un projet avec des gens que j'ai recrutés pour faire ce ScreamMachine, un groupe de heavy metal. Tiens, on va juste donner le line-up. Hein. Donc le line-up de ScreamMachine, donc c'est Valerio the Brave Cariccio qui est au chant, Francesco Bucci qui est à la basse, Axele Mille qui est à la guitare,
Alex
Mille qui est à la guitare, Paolo Campitelli qui est à la guitare, et Alfonso Focorecci qui est à la batterie. Voilà,
That was an hard one.
Voilà, c'est le groupe qu'a fondé Francesco pour jouer ScreamMachine. Et comme il le dit, il a quand même des gens qui sont avec lui, qui ont joué dans des groupes comme bien sûr Francesco Stormlord. Il y a aussi des membres de Caledon, il y a aussi des membres de Lunacia. Donc voilà, c'est un groupe quand même qui a quelques kilomètres au compteur, mais qui fait son premier album. And now, Francesco, during this release of your 10 songs, you have some invites on this. We have the beautiful Steve DiGiorgio with one of the most important bass player since a long time ago. And you have, of course, the singer Herbie Langens from Firewing, Avantasia, and Sonic Haven, so a lot of different bands, who is coming on the songs Wisdom of the Ages. Why we have invite these two persons in particular in your release? This is another one. It is very important for you to have some guests on this to validate maybe the ScreamMachine first release.
Well, as I said, ScreamMachine, it has born like a work of passion. When I start ScreamMachine, I didn't know if I could find any label to release it, because, I wanted to make an heavy metal project. And in my mind, that kind of style, maybe was not so easy to find a label to release it. But anyway, I say, okay, who gives a fuck? I'm going to go my way. I'm going to produce the album the way I love it, and then we'll see. So in my mind, I had also the idea to have some friends and some musicians that I respect so much as guests. And especially I have this idea of having 4 of my favorite guitar players here in the metal scene from Italy on the album. So they were with us since the beginning. They made their solos, and talking about Simone Mularoni from DGM, Massimiliano Pagliuso from Novembre and Oceana, Mattei from Noveria, and of course Andrea Angelini from Stormlord. And after the album was mixed, was almost finished, the people from Frontiers were very happy, and they told me that they especially liked the song Wisdom of the Ages, because it was very different from the rest of the album, was more, obscure, more atmospheric. And especially Elio from Frontiers, he told me, yes, it would perfectly fit for maybe a duet with a singer and with some other musician. So we talk about that, and I say, okay, one of my dreams, of course, would be to have a duet with Steve DiGiorgio, but I think it's impossible, because I'm a bass player from the extreme scene. He was the bass player for Death, okay, for Sadus, also for Testament, for Ice of the Earth, for old band like this. And also I say that I really like the voice of Herbie Langens. So they told me, okay, no problem, we can make you keep in touch with them. You talk with them, you make them listen to the song, and if they will like it, maybe you can have it as guest. And so they enjoyed the song, and they were so professional, and make this guest appearance. It was such a great honor for me. They were gentlemen, and Steve DiGiorgio especially, it's such a gentleman. For me, it's a kind of god of metal bass, but it's so down on earth. He's such a great man, so I thank him for every interview I do. I want the people to know that Steve DiGiorgio, it's a great man. I love him so much. And also Herbie was such a professional guy.
Eh ben voilà, donc alors la question du jour a été qu'il y avait quand même des invités, il y a des invités sur cet album. On va revenir juste sur l'histoire de Steve DiGiorgio et Herbie Langens dans quelques instants. Il a aussi invité Francesco des guitaristes fantastiques italiens. Alors Simone Mularoni de DGM, on le présente plus, puisqu'il est souvent dans beaucoup de projets. Massimiliano Pagliuso dans Novembre et Andrea Angelini de Stormland bien sûr, et Francesco Maite de Noveria. Alors Simone et puis Francesco, sont des habitués de Vinylestimes, donc on les a souvent et on les nomme souvent. Et puis en parallèle de ça, quand il a fait écouter l'album complet à Frontiers, Frontiers a dit ouais, ça serait pas mal, mais on aime bien, ça serait pas mal si sur le morceau Wisdom of the Ages, qui est un peu plus différent, un peu plus planant, on pouvait avoir quelques invités. Et puis Francesco, qui est un fan de Steve DiGiorgio, qu'on connaît, Testament, Death, Iceader, Spirit of Fire, White Lion, enfin on en passait des meilleurs. Et ben il aurait aimé qu'il soit en duet avec lui, puis ils ont dit chez Frontiers, bah pas de problème, on va faire un duo aussi avec Herbie Langans, et puis on va les contacter, on va partager. Et comme le dit Francesco, bah il a réussi son coup de maître, puisque Steve DiGiorgio et Herbie Langans sont sur ce morceau, et il confirme, Francesco, que Steve DiGiorgio, malgré la carrière du bonhomme, c'est son bassiste préféré, c'est un dieu de la basse, et il est très 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 content d'avoir travaillé avec lui. C'est un bon gars, comme il dit, et il a pris beaucoup de plaisir. Francesco, one of my favorite songs, it's the Metal Monster. I just talked to you at the beginning of the interview that it's a very simple song, but what a song! This is some riff at the beginning, some riff of guitars, fantastic riff, and just after the drums comes like a train. So what a good idea. It's very simple to listen, but what a song. How do you create this song, in fact? What is the process in ScreamMachine to create, for example, some songs like the Metal Monster?
Okay, so first of all, thank you very much for what you said about the Metal Monster. All your listeners can see also the video from Metal Monster on YouTube. And Metal Monster was a song brought by Paolo Campitelli, our guitar player, who is also the sound engineer of the whole album. So he recorded the mix of the whole album. And talking about our songwriting process, it was very very simple, because every one of us has a good, except for Valerio the Brave, which is a Neanderthal guy, but all the other guys, I'm just kidding. He's a great guy, but all of us, we are able, to record demo in our house. So the process was mainly, recording our songs on demo and sharing it through the internet with the other guys, so we can work on the arrangements. So we weren't so much in the rehearsal room. It was more a work, exchanging files. And it was a good thing, because when the pandemic started, it was not a problem for us. It was not a stop, because we were already working in this way with the internet. And of course, we first make a demo. When I make a song, I first make a demo, so I'm able also to play guitar and to program drums and stuff like that. And then I send to Valerio, the singer, and he writes a vocal lines, a vocal melody, and we work a little bit together. And then when I have the raw version, I make all the people from the band listen, so they can make their arrangements. And also for the other guys, works that way, because I'm not the only songwriter. 4 people in the bands are writing for this album. I wrote 4 songs. Alex, the guitar player, other 4 songs. And Paolo wrote Metal Monster, and the singer wrote Dancing with Shadow.
Et ben voilà, donc comme le dit Francesco, on a parlé tout de suite du morceau moi qui m'a plus le plus, c'est The Metal Monster. Donc il y a une vidéo YouTube, vous pouvez aller la voir, et puis on passera le morceau bien sûr juste après. Voilà, donc ils s'organisent. Alors ils ont échangé beaucoup de fichiers par internet, c'était un petit peu leur mode de travail. De toute façon, comme dit Francesco, la pandémie du Covid les a pas trop embêtés, parce qu'ils travaillaient déjà comme ça, en échangeant les titres et en bâtissant les titres ensemble. Donc comme il le dit, il a envoyé ces titres, ils ont échangé. Donc une partie des titres a été fait par Francesco, une autre partie par Paolo, une partie par Alex et une partie par Valerio. Bon, ils travaillent à 4 puisque Alfonso il est moins dans la création, il est plus le batteur, et puis ils échangent des fichiers, ils créent des partitions, et puis après ils s'ajustent pour créer les 10 titres de ScreamMachine. Donc sur cet album de ScreamMachine, donc il y a Dimundum, The Metal Monster, The Human Gun, Dark Steel, Mistress of Disaster, 48 Hertz, Wisdom of the Ages avec donc Steve DiGiorgio and Herbie Langans, Silver Fever, Dancing with Shadows, and the last one, but the good one, is called Scream. Machine.
Yeah.
Francesco, two last questions before we ending this
Sure.
interview. First of all, do you think you have the possibility after this lockdown, of course in Italy and the other country in Europe, to play some gigs?
Yeah, I really hope so, man. I mean, right now it's very difficult to make any provision.
Yeah.
So, of course, for the music that we play, we are intended as a live band, and this is a real band. I mean, we want to go on to produce other albums, so it's not just a project. But like many other bands right now, things seems to start going better. But we still have to wait, because in my opinion, it has no sense for us to try to make some gigs and maybe they will not happen. We just wait when it will be possible for us and for the crowd to have a safe experience. Because it's a problem that it's hitting everyone in this scene. What we are doing, because we can play right now, we are writing more songs, because we want to come back as soon as possible. Of course, after the first album, we see that it's working between us. We started to know each other very, very well as musicians and as people. And so we are already working on the material for the new album.
Et ben voilà, donc comme le dit Francesco, la question, c'est très simple, c'est la question qu'on pose un petit peu à tous les groupes. Est-ce que c'est plus un projet ou est-ce que c'est un groupe de scène? Effectivement, ils pensent pouvoir jouer dès qu'ils pourront, parce que du heavy metal tel qu'ils le font, faut quand même aller le voir sur scène et prendre sa petite dose de heavy metal. Ça fait toujours du bien. Alors là, la difficulté, comme pour tout le monde, c'est de planifier, c'est de pouvoir donner des dates. Si c'est donner des dates et les annuler, les reporter, les remettre, c'est très compliqué. D'un autre côté, ce qui est important pour Francesco, c'est qu'il prépare d'autres titres et puis il travaille sur un nouvel album certainement, et donc dès que ça sera possible, dès qu'on aura des bonnes conditions pour faire un concert, on aura plaisir à tourner, et puis on espère les voir en France, bien sûr. Ça serait quand même cool, ou pas très loin de la France. Pour le coup, ça serait une très très bonne idée. Francesco, one question
Sure.
before the end. I have another question which coming on my mind.
Anyway, I would be very pleased to make a gig in France with Rising Steel.
Yeah,
so
for
if they
sure.
listen to this program, we are ready, man.
Okay.
As long as it will be possible, we are ready. I think it could be a killer lineup.
Okay, for sure. I sent an email to the lead singer Emmanuelson, with a friend of mine.
Wow. Sending me his greeting. We are label mates, so that's a greeting from me.
Voilà, donc on est en train de dealer les concerts avec Rising Steel en France, à Grenoble par exemple, ça serait une bonne idée. En tout cas, on va y travailler. One question regarding this artwork of this ScreamMachine. Yeah, it's an energetic artwork. In fact, where's the idea to put this, I don't know, Diablo? I don't know what
He's the metal monster.
It's a metal monster. So who have the idea to put the metal monster on this artwork?
It was our idea. I mean, we were searching. We want, with ScreamMachine, an important thing I want to say, it's that the ScreamMachine is born for the love of the gods of heavy metal, but we don't want to sound like a tribute band. What we want is to take that sound that we love into the future. I mean, so that's why we have a modern production. That's why we try. Of course, we love Judas Priest, we love Armé, and we love early Metallica, but we also want to make it sound actual. And we love also to play with the cliche of heavy metal, but without being a parody. We love that, we love that kind of image.
Yeah.
We love, a lot of fire, chains and steel and stuff like that, but we don't want to be a parody of ourselves. So also in our video, you can see they are really over the top in a certain way. And of course there is a bit of irony in that, but we don't want, to sound, to be so, like Manowar they are now. So you are not into metal, you're not my friend. Okay, it's not like that. For the cover, it was the same thing, because we found this very good artist, Gustavo Saces, who is also take care of the cover for Machinette, for Steve Harris, British Lion, for Kiko Loureiro, and a lot of musicians like that. And we gave him this idea of a screaming monster, like a scream machine. And of course, we used to call him the Metal Monster. And in the beginning, it was not easy to let him understand what we wanted, because he is more elegant, he's more artistic, and we say, okay, let's put more fire, more metal. But in the end, we were totally satisfied. And I'll tell you one joke about that. When he gave us the cover, the final cover, we were so happy. I said, wow, it's a killer one. I like it. Oh, yes. So, of course, we sent the cover to the label, and the CD was start printing. And so the first friend of mine, I showed the cover. He said, wow, it's cool, but it's very similar to Judas Priest Jugulator. I say, wow, now I can't unseen this. Okay, it was not intended, but okay, I like it. I like it, and I have to say that our monster it's far more evil than the one on Jugulator, so it's okay. But it was not intended to be that way.
Eh ben écoutez, voilà, on parlait de la pochette. Hein, si vous la connaissez pas, vous voulez la regarder, mais moi je vous la remettrai. Donc c'est le Meta Monster. Hein, alors pour la petite histoire, comme dit Francesco, quand il a envoyé cette pochette à un de ses amis, il lui a dit ouais c'est super, on dirait la pochette de Judas Priest. Voilà, et puis comme il a écouté, il a dit oh c'est bien, voilà, ils étaient tellement contents que voilà l'artiste qui a fait ça, c'est le même artiste qui a fait Machine Head, qui a fait des artworks pour Kiko Loureiro.
British Lion.
British Lion et d'autres, et donc ils sont très contents du résultat final. Et puis en fait, comme il le dit, on n'est pas un groupe de tribus de bande ou de voilà, on veut pas sonner comme des clichés. On est là pour faire du heavy metal. Donc il fallait aussi que la pochette ressemble à quelque chose de heavy metal. Et quand ils ont eu les premiers échanges là, sur la pochette, ils voulaient plus de flammes, plus de force, plus de tout, parce que les premiers jets étaient pas assez heavy metal, in fact.
Yeah.
Donc voilà, c'était l'histoire autour de la pochette. Francesco, I would like to say thank you so much. It's a great pleasure to speak with you about ScreamMachine, heavy metal, and so on. Before the end, do you have a message for the French listener?
Okay, well, it's heavy metal. It's full of flames. It's full of good riff. You should give us a try.
Thank you so much.
And check, of course, our YouTube videos. Follow us on Spotify, on Facebook, because we are a band releasing the first album, and it's very hard in spirit, to go on. So if you like ScreamMachine, and if you want us to make a second album, just try to support us, to listen our music, to show our music to the people if you like it. Because this is the way, a band is growing.
Voilà, donc comme le dit Francesco, hein, si vous aimez, allez liker la page YouTube, la page Facebook, la page Spotify, Deezer, tout ce que vous voulez, parce que quand on démarre un premier groupe, on a besoin de ça. Si on veut en faire un deuxième, il faut qu'il y ait du monde derrière. Et puis si vous aimez le heavy metal, moi j'adore le heavy metal, en tout cas allez écouter ce Screamachine. Voilà, c'est du pur heavy metal. Et puis nous on va continuer tout de suite après avec The Metal Monster. Francesco, thank you so much.
Merci beaucoup.
Vinyltime, classique rock radio pousse le volume à 11.